Alright, so I saw this list and I felt the need to talk about it. I'm scrolling through Twitter and I see this really bizarre list. Now, of course, me being me, I needed to, um, of course, tell somebody about it. Go to my father, and we had a full-on conversation about this and how just messed up this list is. So, this guy called Cody Rhodes, did a Star Wars, ranking. And from the get go, it's already messed up. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about it one by one. I'm gonna save my final thoughts for the end, even though essentially I just said my final thoughts. Now, let's start from number 14. What the heck is that? Like, actually, why is why is Rogue One so low? Now, okay, I'm not one to bash on people's opinions because they're called opinions for a reason. It's what people think. But like, if I have to bash on somebody's opinion, I because of how ridiculous it is, I will confidently do that. Why the world is that? Um, Rogue One is just it's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece at its finest. It essentially ties up the plot hole of how did the rebels steal the Death Star plans? How they did it? Who did it? And the way that it just seemingly like ties into Rebels, like not to Rebels, to A New Hope, like just so easily, is actually insane. It's nuts. It's like it's a movie that I didn't think we would get, but it's like easily top three because it's that good. Rogue One's just a movie that I could all about enjoy and come back to. And if I'm gonna watch Rogue One, most likely I'm gonna end up watching A New Hope after that. Phantom Menace and Solo. Now, let's talk about this. So, there's no way these two movies should be in front of Rogue One. There's no. These two movies are the bottom of the barrel. These are the definition of bottom of the barrel movies that just don't make sense. Solo we never needed, and Phantom Menace it was fine. It was like it was bad. It was bad. It was probably the worst Star Wars movie. I'm not gonna say it was fine because it really wasn't. But like to get into to get into that trilogy, um, it was just a horrible. It was a poor. Like the story was fine. It's just the way they executed was absolute garbage. This is like that's what I can't stand about it. The way they executed it was horrible. All right, 11 Rebels. Now, I personally haven't seen that too much of Rebels. I know I call myself a Star Wars fan, but I get crucified for this a lot. But yeah, I personally haven't seen that much of Rebels. But from what I saw, it was pretty good, and I haven't gotten back to it. Um, and so this is my father. Yo, this needs to be way higher. I can even tell from a lot of people this needs to be just so much higher than it is. Okay, Rise of Skywalker. Um, contrary to popular opinion, I actually really enjoyed this movie for what it was. I think for me, it's actually like top five worthy for me when it comes to movies, at least. Um, it, including all the Star Wars media, probably not, but like when it comes to like the movies, I think it's top five worthy. I actually really enjoyed it. Um, I think Finn can use the Force. It's a really popular theory. The way that Ray and Kylo worked not together, worked together to fight Palpatine, Darth Sidious was really good. Um, there, all you Raylo shippers out there, there you go. You got it. Now go away. And overall, I thought the choreography was good. The story was good. The execution was good. I think it's just an overall good movie that doesn't deserve all the hate it gets. All right, my next issue. Okay. All right, ready for this? Attack of the Clones should not be in the top 10. Attack of the Clones should not be in the top 10. Attack of the Clones should not be in the top 10. Like, actually, it just shouldn't. It's Attack of the Clones. The same issue I have with Attack of the Clones is the same issue I have with Harry Potter and the Half Blood Prince. Okay, they, instead of going like, I understand like the romance part and it is very essential to the story, but they focus too much on it. Same thing with the Harry Potter and the Half Blood Prince. Half Blood Prince, the book, it's one of the darkest books I've read. It's like one of the darkest Harry Potter books. That and Prisoner of Azkaban, which is the same how I feel about Last Jedi, but even still, one of the darkest books um I've read in the Harry Potter series, and like, I'm sorry, but like you can't tell me. I'm sorry for my audio stuff, but like you can't tell me that Prisoner of Prisoner of Azkaban, Prisoner of Azkaban, Rebels. I mean, and not Rebels, and Attack of the Clones are the same realm with it's like romance, but mixed with like wizardry and sci-fi and stuff like that, and it just does not work. If you do it too much, it doesn't work, and that's what I loved about like the original Star Wars trilogy, where it between Han and Leia, it was there, but it wasn't much. Don't get me wrong, it was a decent amount, but like it wasn't the main focus of the of those movies. It was just like a side plot. Same thing with the sequel trilogy to a certain extent. It's a side plot to get that one kiss at the end. It's a side plot. Attack of the Clones focuses too much of that. Other than that, I did like the final battle, but it focuses too much. Alright, alright, Clone Wars 8. I actually don't have much to say about this. I actually do think that this could get moved up a spot, and one of them could just be brought all the way down. But I actually do think this could be brought up a spot. I think in the very middle is where this show belongs. So because of the fact that, of course, I haven't seen the latest season. I've seen like the first 3 or 4. I haven't seen the latest seasons. From what I thought of the first 3 or 4, I enjoyed it. But until I get back to the later seasons, I can't put this anywhere but the middle. All right, Mandalorian. Now, after this latest, like, contrary, it's like um this Friday's episode, my birthday episode. um, I would have put this. I would have kept it at 7. I would have kept it maybe. Okay, I probably would have put it above. I probably would have put it above New Hope. But like after this, like this past week's episode, it's just like this is such a good show that everybody loves. Then you have those people that are just like, it's fine, nothing special, nothing new. There's so many things that are introduced here into the show, and because it's still ongoing, I'm not going to say anything about it because it's technically spoilers. But just go check out the show; you'll see why it deserves to be higher. New Hope. I actually think like here to like maybe one spot down is actually like perfect for it. New Hope is still a great movie, but like, I don't think it. I do think it deserves all the hype it gets, but I don't think it like I don't think it was like too mind blowing for its time. It was mind blowing, but now, yeah. All right, Return of the Jedi. Now, I have an issue with this simply because of the fact that Return of the Jedi is one of the greatest Star Wars movies of all time. That and the 2 others on here. Um, which would be what would be the would be Rogue One. Now, Return of the Jedi, I feel like it just wraps up the sequel trilogy perfectly. Um, it just wrapped it up perfectly. The fight between Vader and Luke, and then Vader like it's like you see. I'm gonna spoil because if you haven't seen it, it's been out for 40 some years. Um, okay, almost 40 some years. But like the fight between like Luke and Vader, and then like you see the character Vader's character development like over time, and him coming to realize that yeah, maybe I should not have done this. Maybe I should not have accepted Sidious as my um master. Like it really does. It really like just wraps it up nicely, and it's just really good. Force Awakens. I have no real complaints about this movie. I will say it's kind of rushed. The story is kind of eh. Um, I have no real complaints about this movie. I would have brought it down like maybe one down, but it's whatever. Revenge of the Sith. This is my number one movie. I already know how I feel about it. If this wasn't number, if like this absolutely deserves to be number one. Um, but it's whatever. It's fine. I don't really care, except for the next spot. First of all, Revenge of the Sith should automatically be number one, but even still, next spot, Last Jedi is the most overrated Star Wars movie I have ever watched. One of the most overrated movies I have ever watched. Um, it's Last Jedi. It's the same. Like it's the same thing. It's like how I feel about Prisoner of Azkaban. It's just too overrated. It's so overrated because it didn't do anything special. It was just the first part of it was just a freaking training arc. Think of like an anime. It's just a training arc. The second, I will admit, the second part of it was cool. Of course, Luke Skywalker died. Come on now, it's not a spoiler. Like, Luke Skywalker died, and it was um I think the ending was fine, but the first part was just it's just a straight up training arc and just Rey finding herself. And I don't even remember what the rebels were doing. All I remember was Princess Leia almost died, and Rose was a character that was extremely wasted. That was just wasted. She could have been such a good character. That's all I remember. This movie does not deserve all the hype it gets. Number one, Empire. So Empire is good. Empire is great. I love Empire. I don't think it's top three worthy. I think I would put it at number four. I can understand why people love Empire so much. Um, heck, it's one of my favorites. But like Empire is just for me. It's I think it's simply because of the fact that I just prefer Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One, and Return of the Jedi over Empire. I think it's as simple as that. Um, it's that simple. However, of course, all the comments are just like, why in the world is Rogue One last? Why the world's Rogue One last? And then this guy tried to fix it. I'm gonna ignore this. Um, this guy tried to fix it, and we have a problem. So, Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace. I agree with this. You can swap those two. You could just swap those two. It doesn't really matter. Rise of Skywalker should not. It just like I said, gets too much hate. Gets more hate than it deserves. Um, Solo just should have not existed at all. Revenge of the Sith. Now, hey, here's where we go in on this guy. So, if you're telling me that Revenge of the Sith wasn't a good ending to Darth Vader's story, and technically Anakin's story, and how he became Darth Vader, and how like the world of Star Wars came to be in the original trilogy, like if you could tell me that like that movie was a great Star Wars movie, was like top three worthy, you have lost your mind. You have lost your mind if you think that. Hey, come on. Like, okay, top three worthy? Maybe it isn't. I don't care. I really enjoyed it. But it should not be it should not be lower than number five. It's so good. It's so good. And there's no way in the world it should be under Last Jedi, which is once again at number two. Like, why? The choreography was absolutely amazing. Order 66, that was a heartbreaking scene of it itself. And, like, I just don't understand why don't like, a person can't like this movie. And then you have, like, Force Awakens, I don't agree with it. Rebels, the Clone Wars, Return of the Jedi. I already know my stance on it. It's a great movie. Should be top three. Should not be this low. Yeah. Rebels. I once again haven't seen too much of it. Mandalorian. I think that's perfect. New Hope. Personally, for me, too high. I would probably put it at number six. Rogue One, just right where it deserves, like right where it deserves to be. And Last Jedi Empire. Yeah, it's the same thing as like the first one. It's just messed up the top two order. But yeah, I'm gonna end this video. Tell me what you think in the comments. What you think of this list and how bad this list is and how this list should be abolished. I. I might just my YouTube videos might just be me taking things from Twitter and just ranting about it. I don't know. This is just annoying. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.